It's Amir here, your New Jersey real estate agent. If you saw my video yesterday about how this whole Greenland stuff, of Trump saying he'd want to buy it as a territory would blow over, and how the global economic flash crash that we saw yesterday would also blow over as long as you had your rose-colored glasses off, you thought with a sober mind, and you stayed above water. And in less than 24 hours, all these things seem to go away because Trump is predictable when it comes to these things. And what do I mean by that? Look at what he said about making Canada the 51st state. Look at what he said about taking the Panama Canal over. Remember when he said he'll rebuild in Gaza and the Rivieras they have there? I'm paraphrasing him about the whole Gaza stuff, but he said these things. And so him talking about Greenland and wanting to buy Greenland is just another geopolitical strategy move to remind our European allies that you need to wake up because you are in a death spiral with your terrible policies. And what do I mean by their terrible policies? Look at what's happening in Europe. Europe is unrecognizable. I was in London a few years ago and it was unrecognizable. I didn't feel safe there. Look at what's happening in France. There are knives attacks everywhere. These undocumented people are raping young girls because they've never been around a Western or European society where there's openness and open-mindedness and you could dress the way you want. They don't know how to act. Um, people in Europe couldn't even celebrate Christmas this past year because these undocumented aliens were climbing on top of trees and destroying Christmas tree decorations. Besides the whole immigration, the terrible immigration policies Europe has embraced, you have to look at their anti-business regulations. If you know why there's a lack of M&As, mergers and acquisitions in Europe? Because they're so heavily regulated. You know why new businesses can't be created or are really hard to be created, or why there's a lack of entrepreneurship in Europe? Because they are the most regulated, anti-business um, nation in the world. If you've got let me give you an example. If you got 10 employees, you need to provide the government with uh, salary information. You need to provide the government with health benefits. You need to provide the government with job responsibilities. And then let's say you get 15 people and you grow your work base